You are.
I am not in the headspace for that butt fuckery. I'm gonna be 100 with you.
Oh my god, that was great. Sorry guys, me and Ghost were just having a good time. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Live on Two Wheels, your weekly motorcycle live show here on the internet. I am your host, Chess, accompanied by my buddy Bo and our spectral producer, Ghost. Ghost, say hi to everybody since they can't see you.
Hello, everybody.
That was kind of a Disney ghost. I like that. So, guys, in today's episode, we get to talk about... I forgot about the thumbnail. Okay, we have to explain the thumbnail soon because a lot of you guys... Yes, a lot of you guys clicked on that, and you're proving a point. So, in today's video, we are finally going to talk about this big release that Kawasaki has been teasing us for what, Ghost? Like 2 weeks now? It's been like, what is it, 16 new models, which was, that's a pretty outrageous claim. So we have the models that they are actually coming out with, and we're going to talk about them today.
Like
it should be interesting. Huh?
There's like one new model.
Hey, don't spoil it for everybody in the first fucking minute of the show.
They updated a few. Come on.
They updated them. So, guys, like I said, this is the Motorcycle Live Show every week. It's also available as a podcast. So if you guys only want to most of the time.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. So it's sometimes available as a podcast, but it's always available on the Live on Tools YouTube channel after the fact. It automatically goes up there. So don't feel like you're left out if you can't make the live show. So we're rocking through the beginning. I have a checklist. If you guys don't understand, I have a checklist.
No, I think they get it.
That makes me make sure I say all the things I'm supposed to say. So if you guys enjoy this show, you're here weekly and you're watching the lives or you're listening, a super awesome way to help us out over here on YouTube is to become a channel member, which is really awesome. It's pretty cheap. It's only, I think, $4.99 a month, and it offers you guys some really cool stuff. So if you guys notice over in the chat here on the live show, you're going to notice some people have different colored names, and they have little emojis next to their name. Those are our green homies. So if you guys don't know how to get to channel membership, I'll show you guys. You just go to the YouTube channel, click over here on the right side, click join. Once you click join, you're going to see this screen. These are all the little emojis you get next to your name with their months of, so the longer you become a member, it changes over time, which is pretty cool. One of the, or many of the things you get for channel memberships, I'm going to read them out here. Thank you all the people that are putting emojis in the chat. I appreciate it. All right, as a channel member, you get loyalty badges next to your name in the comments and live chat. You get custom emojis to use in the comments and the live chat. You get photos and status updates, get access to the members-only community page where we post show updates. You get member shout-outs prior to replying to comments because, like Bo said, we're always looking for our green homies in the chat. So if you guys want to help support the show, that is the best way to do it, period, end of statement. Thank you so much, all of my members. You guys drop them emojis all up in there. But yeah, guys, it's super helpful. It's the way to keep the lights on here, and we appreciate it. Now, if you're a broke SOB like me and you don't have... Where's our stickers? Hidden between both of our laptops. If you guys want to support...
Because of the cake last night.
True. The cake was not the worst cake I've ever had.
That's good cake.
If you guys want to support the show totally free to you, not free to us, you can leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts. And Ghost, do we have a different... This review looks weird. Or is it just me? It just looks weird.
Probably
Okay.
you in general.
Probably just me. We can always write it off on that. Guys, if you go over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review, we will choose your name, maybe. And if I read your review online, I'll send you this decal for free. Look at this. Just digitally. Nice. So I'm going to read a review this week dramatically. And, oh my God, Bo is causing an actual earthquake. Don't throw up. That's not what this show is all about. Give me some noise. Let me do this review. Title: Love It. 5 stars. By Sparky Emperor. I listen to this while driving for my job. It makes the time fly. The podcast is good mix between humor and information, with some poor reading skills thrown in the mix. I take offense to that. With it being the second best motorcycle podcast, it's one of the few that makes me feel like, Chase, don't read this part out loud, but please update the podcast more timely, 2 weeks behind YouTube. Great show otherwise.
I'm working on it, bud.
Well, yeah. I did. I will read anything said on the podcast reviews.
He reads everything on the teleprompter.
Yeah, I do. So, Sparky Emperor, 2 things. One, sorry that we're not entirely up to date. Secondly, thank you for that review. We really appreciate it, especially those 5 stars. If you will send me an email to chase@chaseontwowheels.com and just screenshot you editing your review, and I'll send you a form, and you can fill out all the info. And then one day, you will go out to your mailbox and you will see a handwritten letter with seemingly nothing inside of it. And you will open that letter. And once you open it, you will be regaled with this decal. Thank you for the review. Well, that was fun. Let's do more of those.
Dear God.
Alrighty, guys. So other cool ways that you guys can join the little crowd we got going on. We got a Discord server full of dudes just like you. Let me guess.
And ladies.
You and ladies. Yeah, we're not sexist here. So what?
It's a weird clarification, but okay. I was just saying that there's plenty of
Anyway,
lady writers out there.
if you guys, let me describe you, and I'm going to describe you directly.
God, you are fucking
You're sitting at
that
work.
Conversation we had earlier.
You're sitting at work. You got nothing to do. You're like, you know what? Let me go online and look up some motorcycle videos online. You might have been here for a while, and you enjoy a couple of the moto vloggers out in the world. You have a home on our Discord server. But we've lost Bo. So if you guys want to join, there's a link in the description. So one thing we like to do is give a shout out, and thank you, Ghost, for putting that in the live chat. One thing we like to do, guys, is give our Discord people a shout out. We have a moto photo section in our Discord where you guys can post photos of your motos, and we grab some photos every week. Or when I say we, I mean Ghost. Let's be clear. Yep. But Ghost is like, yes, me, absolutely. So I'm gonna give you guys, show you guys some of our Discord users. First up, we have.
God damn, dude.
It looks like a BMW of some sort by user Bitter Barista. Somebody didn't get tipped well. Yeah, BMW on a beautiful Vista here. That's awesome. I don't know what type of BMW it is. It doesn't look like a big boy GS, maybe a baby boy GS. I don't know. Can't tell. Either way, very jealous of that person in that location. Next up, oh snap, triple header with user Olson. Looks like we got a CBR either 600 or 1000 next to a RSV4 Aprilia and an S1000. And we even got another little bike there in the background. How cool is that? Also, sunset on the ocean vibes. I am extraordinarily jealous of you guys this week. Next up, oh snap, with the old school Ninja 5 Hundo? Discord user, some kind of octopus. I should start taking the top bag off for photos. Top bag? That's a tail bag. But anyway,
it's on the top.
That's fair. Very cool. You don't see many of these. I used to see these all the time when I started riding, and that's how old of a man I am. And that's not a Discord user. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys so much for posting in our moto photo section. I love seeing the photos you guys take. Everybody was close to water this week. Ghost, was that intentional?
Waterfront.
Hey, there was
photos.
plenty of waterfront, so Yeah.
You should just go in every week and be like, all right, guys, here's the challenge of the week. Post photos with this in it. Like
Ooh,
a
yeah,
baby
Assignment
chicken.
America.
A sign in America. That's hilarious. Yeah, so guys, if you want to join the Discord, we have tons of awesome people in there. There's an entire sub community of this show in our Discord. It's crazy times. You should definitely go check it out. And that's it for the intro of the show, guys. That's it. All right, got it. Next up is our most highly produced and most copied segment. Is the Quick Shifter, which is our segment where our spectral producer Ghost comes together with all of the motorcycle news, and he puts it together in an action-packed sequence where we only have 30 seconds per topic to talk about it. That way we can get through the news quickly. Ghost, I heard the Don't you me. I listened to that. I listened to your little rev counter. So we're going to play the Quick Shifter for you guys now and talk about it. How you doing over there, Bo? You doing all right?
I've got issues.
I know. Alrighty, here.
I love how there was 12 minutes of nonstop talking, and then you just fucking checked out because you were trying to click on a thing, like nothing. You were just like, all right, I'm gonna do this entire thing, and we're gonna talk through the whole thing, and then you're like, all right, let's click on this, and then you go, and just dead. Like your brain shut off, like a cat when you pick him up by the back of the neck.
Welcome to the Quick Shifter. I wonder if people could submit their audio to be the revving on the Quick Shifter. Like, can we do that in Discord?
Hey, just let me know if you got a good one.
That'd be kind of cool.
I'm sure we can.
Or we could use the sound checks on the motors on the first rides. That'd be kind of cool.
I think it'd be better if it was.
I like the people's idea. We're the people's show, really. After last week's Quick Shifter was created, there simply wasn't enough power left in the machine to create a full Quick Shifter this week, with news and all.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. What is happening? What is it? This is new to us. However, there was still enough juice for the tip of the week and a behind-the-scenes look at the incredible device that helps generate the Quick Shifter. Hashtag Smart Industries at work. Before we get the tip, ooh, I read it correctly. Did Bo update the title?
I did not.
Wow, called out perfectly. Oh my God, I love that.
It's like
Ghost,
way
you
behind,
fucking
too.
nailed him. Ghost called you out on show. Welcome to the Tip of the Week. Ghost Tip of the Week. Sponsored by our spectral producer. Ghost available on Instagram at Ghost on 2 Wheels.
I've never wanted to karate chop you in the throat. So
Ghost Tip of the Week. Exercise will give you more energy, but you need energy to exercise. Sounds like a pyramid scheme.
it's definitely MLM.
That is 100%. Ghost, you guys heard it here first. Exercise gives you energy, but also takes it. Pyramid scheme confirmed.
I don't think they heard it here first.
Oh. Well, as long as Ghost posts it after the fact, then then they heard it here first. Wait, I think Ghost is a tricksy hobbit, because we're now done with the tip. And now an exclusive look into the device that helps generate the Quick Shifter with help of Smart Industries. Ah, I see. All right. We get an inside look, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my.
Smart. World headquarters. Research
love
has been
this.
proceeding to develop a line of automation products that establishes new standards.
This is one of my
Quality,
favorite
technological
videos on
leadership,
Oh
and
my
operating
God.
on the
excellence.
planet.
You guys are so
With customer
ridiculous.
success as our primary focus, work has been proceeding on the crudely conceived idea of an instrument that would not only provide inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal gram meters.
Wow, guys.
Such an instrument comprised of Dodge gears and bearings, Reliance electric motors, Allen Bradley controls, and all monitored by Rockwell software is
Smart.
retro and casual. Now basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, It's produced by the modial interaction of magnetoreluctance and capacitive reactance. The original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite, surmounted by a malleable logarithmic
You guys did
casing
so much
in such a way
keyframing,
that the two
and I
spurting
appreciate all
bearings
of it.
were in a direct line with a panametric fam. The lineup consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the
Wane
normal
shaft.
lotuso-deltoid type placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator. Every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible Tremi pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the gram meters.
What the fuck
Moreover,
is this dude
whenever
saying?
fluorescent score motion
Exactly.
is required, it may also be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce
No, a
sinusoidal
dingle arm?
deceleration.
That man just said that without
The
laughing.
electroencabulator has now reached a high level
They
of
call
development.
it a wang
and
arm.
it's being successfully used in the operation of Milford triangles.
Or a wang shaft. That's
It's
what.
available soon, wherever
Smart.
products are sold.
Oh my god, and the helmet comes in. Oh my god. Man, where are smart products sold? In a couple of weeks, accept a unique behind the scenes show of high side, low side. I mean, why not? Wait, what? I couldn't read it. Oh my god, I couldn't read it fast enough.
That's a classic clip, and it's one of my favorites.
The computer thing?
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Cheap plug, save on a Cardo unit. Use promo code GHOST on 2 wheels. You guys make sure to go use that coupon code. Ooh, Lost in the Fog. Can we watch this?
Nick makes a good point. I want to know how many takes it took them to make that video.
I want to stay home. Okay. How many takes it
Yeah.
took to make that video?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Like the computer guy video.
Oh, like the actual. Well, there's cutaways, so he didn't. It wasn't a one take, so he didn't have that bad of a time. Ghost, thank you so much for the quick shifter. That was hilarious. All right. The amount of keyframing that you guys had to do was it literally makes me sick thinking about it.
Which is why there was no news.
Keyframing more important. Okay, guys. So that's it for the front half of the show. Let's get into the topic. So, Ghost, should I show the teaser videos first to like tease everybody up? No, probably not. Okay. Yeah, perfect.
I don't
Fucking
know.
balloon leaking.
All right. So, potential spam. Should I answer it on live?
Is it your friend Spam Likely?
Yes. Okay. So before we get into the show, we need to we really need to discuss the thumbnail because there are an amount of people on this show that literally saw a green baby sheep and they were like, you know what? I'm gonna watch that live show. So here's the thing.
I think that none of the people here click on this video. All of our homies are clicking on this video to hang out with us.
So here. Let me set it up for you guys. Bo and I are getting ready for the show. I'm editing some photos or something for future videos, and Bo's working on the thumbnail. He has, by the way, there are 2 main motorcycles Kawasaki released that are like new. So we had them both on the
Nice. Gifted.
Leaf.
By Andy.
Andy.
Goonie.
Goons. Thanks, Goons. And now Leif has Leif.
Leif?
I'm going to say Leif because I've watched the Viking show and there's a guy named Leif Erikson. I'm going to pretend that's how to say his name. Anyway, congrats. And Andy, thank you for gifting a membership, man. Okay, so Bo is over there on Photoshop, making the thumbnail, and he's putting the 2 bikes on there. And I was like, hey, we should put one bike way bigger because the typical audience will see that and we will get more clicks and more people will watch this show. There was a conversation of, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of some this. So I was like, you know what?
I think I said, man, because you were like, yeah, but our audience would click on it and we're playing the game. And then I was like, the people that watch our video, we could put, and I said, we could literally put a sheep on it. And then your brain went
full mode. So Bo's argument is we could put a sheep as the thumbnail for this show and it would not change viewership at all. So my head goes, you know what? Find a baby sheep in a field, color it green, put a stamp of Kawasaki on it, and we'll just put just announced, and we'll see what happens.
You guys are our homies. You're going to click on this anyway, and here we are.
So everybody that clicked on this, if you're in this live show right now, you're the problem.
And I love you for it.
You are the exact problem.
I love you for it.
You guys know we have to, over on the Chase on Two Wheels channel, we very much have to play the game. Yeah. YouTube is this puppet master, and they're like, if one video does bad, you now have to fight this upward thing. It's bullshit. Charles, I see you. Thank you for being here.
What's up, confused homesteaders?
Basically,
we're gonna get a whole different pie of the algorithm.
You're gonna get a lot of sheep people in this one. Be like, I thought this was a sheep video. So yeah, I was like, you know what? Make a fucking green sheep, and we're gonna see. I'm fascinated to see how this video does once it goes live on YouTube. Yeah, it'll probably tank, but it's okay. That's what Live on Two Wheels is. You know,
just a show that tanks.
Show that tanks. So yeah, we're seeing what the hell with that. I think it's hilarious, though. I guess it does kind of work that I'm doing an ibex build, which is a goat, and a sheep is kind of a goat.
My brain went to, it was kind of sheepish of them to say we have 16 new models.
That's a good question. I haven't looked into any of this stuff. Ghost, explain the quote-unquote 16 new models that Kawasaki's releasing, and one of them is not a baby sheep. I'm sorry to tell you guys.
One of them is
to be accurate. They didn't say 16 new models. They just said they were announcing 16 models, which is typically what all the OEMs do when there's just even the slightest update.
Gotcha. So they did slight tweaks, and that counts as a update.
Yeah, well, they actually do, like, just announcing it's for the next year, and I think like later on they'll announce some other models are returning, that type of thing, which is kind of normal in the biz.
Gotcha.
But there was a few significant updates, so let's talk about them.
Yeah. Okay. So the two major boys is Kawasaki updated their Ninja ZX6R, which I honestly think is very fascinating, and we'll definitely talk about that. And they introduced. Have they never had the Eliminator? Is that brand new?
Yeah, I think it was first announced overseas, and then it was just like, let's bring it to the US too.
Interesting. So we have a brand new Kawasaki model, the Eliminator. So that's really neat. So I think the best way to kind of like segment the show out, I'm going to show you guys the release video. We're going to talk about some stats, and we're going to do that for both bikes. And then we'll kind of spend the back half of the show digging into both of the bikes individually. What's the hub about?
We'll get to it.
Oh, God. Okay. So before Bo huzz anymore, let me show you guys the Ninja ZX6. And this, I don't think there's any words on this. It's just audio, so we'll probably talk over it a little bit. Just a heads up. Actually, so that this doesn't get... fuck it if it gets claimed.
Yeah, we know we can get... It's fair use, baby.
Here we go. Oh, I do like the reveal. That was neat. That camera... Wow, did it just go straight to... so we're doing this like kind of like very aggressive, then goes to a piano scene. Bird's eyes. Slow motion. Oh my God. The rear brake rotor is the same shape as his eye.
Please fucking stop. Oh my Lord. You're ruining this experience.
Oh, sorry. Experience away, guys. I love you. Ghost, you better not have been saying that thing.
I like how they're riding their motorcycle in the Windows XP background.
Bro, truly though. I do like the dubsteppy piano though.
Of course you would.
It's a vibe. I get it. Oh my God. Sorry.
I'm already on the verge of yakking. It does look like they refined the body lines a little bit, especially on that front end, like the front view.
Boom. There you go. Let the good times roll. What kind of Harley statement is that? That does not sound Kawasaki at all. Let the good times roll? I don't understand that.
That's been their tagline for years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does not sound... That does not sound like a Kawasaki thing.
This is why they won't talk to us.
Fuck them then.
Yeah, he doesn't pay attention.
Okay, so that's the Ninja ZX6R. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about. Okay, so highlights of the Ninja ZX6R. MSRP $11,299 with and that's the non-ABS model, and then they have an ABS model that's $12,299. Kind of surprising that they have a non-ABS model, but whatever.
Just thinking.
The updated, updated 636 inline 4 engine, updated design with all LED lighting, which is pretty cool. Kawasaki traction control, which is fantastic. Full TFT instrumentation, which is... Hey! Jacob, thanks for becoming a member, man. Welcome to the Green Crew. Oh, it makes sense on this episode. Perfectly. So, full TFT instrumentation. We've got integrated rider modes, which kind of you should have it. And then, interestingly, it has smartphone connectivity. I've got a lot of thoughts about this bike. Obviously, this is kind of like more of my territory, but we'll dig into those. So, next up, we're going to show the release video for their Eliminator, which is their kind of new cruiser model. So, let's jump over there and see what kind of crazy antics Kawasaki, who wants you to roll around.
Apparently the highlight of the ZX6R is that it's Euro 5 compliant.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of hype for a scooter. Weird call out. Powerful. That remains to be seen. I can tell you that seat's probably not going to be fun after a while. Yeah, what? Oh my God. What does this sound like, a real estate virtual walkthrough? So yeah, they're doing the same thing. I bet you they have their own apps and stuff. I bet you that's what the smartphone connectivity is.
They do.
Yeah. Stop doing your own apps, dummies.
Alrighty, letting the good times roll.
What is the capacity of the bike? As if the Vulcan wasn't beginner enough. So
Alrighty.
Why don't we talk about the highlights from this?
Yeah, I'll let you do the highlights for this
$6,649. Is that for both the ABS and the non-ABS?
6649.
Oh, 6649, 6949. Again, why there's a non-ABS, I don't know. This is an all-new parallel twin, 451cc. Smartphone connectivity, 28.9-inch seat height, and an SE edition available with ABS headlight cowl and fork boots in case you want it to look like a Honda Rebel.
There you go. All right, so those are the two models, guys. The brand new boys. Do you want to talk about the Eliminator since we just saw it? Because I'll talk a lot.
I think it's dumb.
What's up?
Have you ever ridden the Vulcan 650?
I don't think I've ridden the Vulcan.
Okay, so
what size was the Rebel that we had in?
That was an 1100.
Ooh, okay.
So I've ridden the Vulcan 650. It is.
Should we say for the people that are new that you have more experience on the cruiser side of things?
That's true.
And then I have more experience on the more sporty aspect of things.
Yeah.
I have a decent amount of experience on cruisers because obviously I have the First Ride series where I ride a lot of stuff. And I have ridden a decent amount of cruisers, own a Sportster S. So that's kind of the base of where we're starting.
Yeah.
But continue. Sorry.
So the price is nice for a bike like that if you want to get a cruiser and you know. These bikes, when you get into lower CC cruisers, they're very anemic. Like,
meaning by power.
By the power to pull, even if it is a lightweight bike, it's gonna feel supremely underpowered.
In what regard though? Because if you're just like, so in that video, they're cruising around town,
top speeds, like highway speeds. For instance, the Bolt, right? The Bolt was a 940 something cc cruiser, which is more than the Iron 883 from Harley, less than the Rebel 1100.
Right.
Its power was pretty pathetic. Mine sat at around like 50 horsepower.
So you think this is going to be anemic even though it's a parallel twin?
I think it's going to be pretty anemic.
It'll still have the little torquiness, you know?
But like...
You don't think it's going to be enough?
I don't think it's going to be enough. The Vulcan, when I rode it, I was like, this thing sounds mean as shit. It was a putterer. Like, it would make all the noise when you're revving through, but you were not going anywhere fast. Like, it did not feel good.
Yeah.
And you get cruisers to cruise. Like, you want to be comfortable, whatever, but like, and that's fine. But if I'm going to be using a bike for city riding, I'm not going to buy a cruiser. I'm going to buy...
Why would you not buy a cruiser? Why would you not buy a cruiser?
I would buy a scooter if I'm... or something like that. Or something that's a little bit more fun to ride. The whole point of a cruiser, for me at least, isn't I'm going a mile down the street or 5 miles to the other side of town.
Hey, Jacob, thanks for the donation, man. Jacob says, Chase's hat reminds me of a crayon. Also, I'm Hobbit-sized, not fun-sized.
That's fair.
Nice. I appreciate the distinction.
It's just, I wouldn't buy a cruiser for that, because, like, the price, for that amount, for that price, there are so many other fun, small displacement motorcycles and scooters that you can get that will be more fun, just as comfortable as a cruiser, and much lighter.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You gotta take into consideration though, with a lot of people, I don't think we share this mindset because we've ridden scooters and we've realized scooters are really, really fun. Yeah. But I do think a lot of entry riders,
not even just scooters though. Like you can get a lot of motorcycles for that price that are gonna be more fun, great on gas, low displacement, super comfortable, with more to offer than this. A person that buys this as a cruiser is probably going to outgrow this really fast. And
but that can be said for all the beginner bikes, though.
To an extent. But what I'm saying is, like, in the cruiser world, 600 cc's in the sport bike world is, like, you can hang on that for years. Years and years and years.
Right.
600, the moment that you get on a ride with somebody who has... on average, twice the displacement as you do.
Right.
And you guys go on a road trip, you're going to be feeling that. You're going to be feeling the lack of power and the lack of headroom that you have on it immediately. Any trip that you take, like the reason I never took the Bolt very far away is because it's got 5 gears and it's screaming at like 6,000, 5,000 RPM at its top gear for an hour and a half. I'm just like, I feel like I'm going to blow up. The bike's going to blow up.
Right.
Like, you're really going to feel it. And having ridden the Vulcan 650 and felt the exact same way, even worse than it was on my Bolt, I can only imagine a whole 200 cc's less. This thing is probably, it'll be a good beginner bike, I guess. But if you're in the cruiser world, then you're going to spend $6,000, $7,000. I would say you could even step it up a notch. How much is the Vulcan 650?
No idea. So, I don't know. I feel like the cruiser platform. I see this motorcycle. The kind of like area of the market that I kind of see it existing in is beginner riders. Obviously, you're probably in a major metropolitan area, like a big city. And I mean, I personally would prefer like a comfortable cruiser like this going around town, as opposed to, a super sport or something like that. Certainly not over a naked, but
literally. So
the Vulcan S.
The Vulcan 650.
That's also made by Kawasaki?
Yes. It is literally $100 more than the ABS version for...
Well, does the Vulcan S have ABS, though?
I think they have a version. I think the Vulcan S does. There's a version that doesn't. So that must be the...
We need to confirm that because
the Vulcan S has all the stuff.
That's really interesting.
Non-ABS and ABS for the Vulcan S.
Yeah.
So how much is the cost of the Vulcan S non-ABS? Is that what I have here?
$73.49.
So you're looking at like, what is that? $800, $700 to go from the Eliminator of at a cost of $6,649.
Yes, but in the world of motorcycles, right? Mm-hmm. Like that is a savings, because if you buy this $6,600 motorcycle, mm-hmm. and then in 6 months you go, oh, okay, I can't deal with this. I need to be able to go outside of the 10-mile radius.
So what's the thought process on having the Eliminator when the Vulcan S is already there?
I have no fucking clue.
What type of engine does the Vulcan S have? Has it got the 650 Ninja
yeah, it's
in
the
it?
Ninja 650 engine.
Which is a parallel twin.
I don't understand this at all. What it's most likely, because this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was announced overseas first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just brought it over because it's like, oh, give small displacement, blah blah blah. They're doing this a lot.
I'm going to show you guys a photo of, this is the new Eliminator, and the conversation that we're having is this at 451 cc's versus $700 more, and you get a 650.
And that's slow. So you can only imagine how much slower. Then you're paying. How much are you paying for slow?
They honestly look very similar.
I know. I don't know what this is about. Like, so there's a big. The reason that I scoffed at this earlier is because there's this huge push right now for all these super low displacement in the world of cruisers. 400 cc's is super low. It's like dumb low.
Yeah.
There's been a huge push right now, and I don't know why, but it's all these like overseas super low displacement bikes being brought over here.
You think people are tired of scooters over there, and they want the motorcycle feel, but they're fine with the power level being low?
Yeah, there's a lot of regulations too overseas about that as well. Yeah. So like in India, I think you can only have up to a certain displacement. But regardless, in the past like 6 months, I've seen a whole bunch of these small bikes come out. Like Honda did the 121 or something like that, it's basically a dual sport, but in like the super low displacement dual sports.
Yeah, I don't think I've ridden a Rebel 300. I really wish I would have, so I would at least have some level of understanding here.
The small, like the Rebels, they feel anemic too, but it's kind of been their thing.
If you guys don't know, Rebels are like Honda's kind of cruiser line.
Well, it's the baby cruisers. So like, honestly, even the Rebel 500, it still feels anemic. When you're in a cruiser world, like you definitely want all 6 gears, lots of top end for highways,
cruising,
and anything else. Like I loved my Bolt, but the moment that I left my little area, it's where all the shortcomings came from, and I didn't enjoy riding that in the city like I did, say, the MT-07.
Yeah.
Or like the triple that we did the video on, where you were on the MT-10 and I was on the Speed Triple. Like I enjoyed riding that around. It was not as comfortable, but like just short little things.
Very agile.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't understand this move at all, unless they're just like they've got a surplus and they've already made their money back from, because again, it looks like they've reused a lot of stuff they had laying around.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This doesn't make any damn sense.
The one thing I do notice, ironically, is that the Eliminator has a passenger seat. The Vulcan does not. Now, I'm sure you can probably get a Vulcan passenger seat.
The one I rode in Texas had the passenger pegs and the seat stuff.
But as far as like body lines, you got this like little tank on top of the engine. You got like this small circular headlight directly in front of the gas tank. And I'll show you guys photos so you guys can look at what I'm talking about. So if you guys notice, small little headlight here, gas tank that kind of slopes down. We get this little tail and then a low horizontal exhaust.
Yeah.
And I know the photo's small, but you guys just hang with me. Kind of sloping down gas tank, headlight right in front, slopes down to a little tail with the seat down here, and then another horizontal
The Vulcan is more in line with their cruiser lines of the past as far as the design language. The new Eliminator is more in line with, honestly, with what Honda's been doing with the Rebel.
Well, I mean, like, if
this modern,
if I'm judging the Honda Rebel by the views that our Honda Rebel videos get, like, I feel like the Honda Rebel is popular.
The 1100 is
very popular.
It's dope, and aside from my issue with the DCT, which I fucking hate,
you just don't like DCT in general.
That's just me personally.
Yeah.
And also the 7 hours of riding on a small bike.
Oh, you're talking specifically about your big trip. Gotcha.
But other than that, I loved it. When I was in Florida, the thing was great. It's the Africa twin engine, so it's like, that's cool. But the 500, which I've ridden, I didn't get that same feeling. I felt like I was wanting more.
Interesting.
It is one of those things where I don't understand this trend right now, bringing smaller displacement bikes over here where we have so much more room to travel. Where everything isn't closed in and we don't have restrictions.
Yeah,
and I think they're using this. Honestly, I think they're tricking people into thinking that the beginner bikes are the ones they should start on, when you're just going to waste your fucking money, because you're not going to get that money back trading it in. You're under from the word go. You ride off. You've lost some value.
Right.
Trying to then trade up in 6 months.
It's going to be a hard sell.
It's going to be a hard sell.
Pause real quick. Jacob, thank you for the super chat. So I'm 5'2" with a 29-inch inseam. What naked/cruiser bike would you recommend? It looks like the Eliminator doesn't want you to live long and prosper. 5'2" and 29.
29, you've got a long inseam.
Yeah, you've got a decent inseam.
Yeah.
You're a little short, but you got a 29-inch inseam. So
most cruisers
naked or cruiser, you're not gonna have a problem because
most cruisers are like 28.
Low seat height always. Andy, thank you for that. We'll get right to you, Andy. Nakeds. Did you say
you can flamingo gang most naked bikes? For
nakeds, I would be pushing that 700 to 650 range. I don't know if I'd go up too much above that until you have like a season or two under your belt, because the nakeds you're gonna have a higher seat height. It all depends on the type of riding you want to do.
Also, as a fellow short rider, you just got to learn the tricks not to be afraid of the tall bikes.
Well, as long as you stick in that 650, 700 range, the weight's not really a
quick
problem.
shout out, if you Doodle on a Motorcycle does a bunch of videos on she's 5'1", and she has a 31-inch-ish inseam. And she does a lot of videos on how she circumvents some of the seat height issues.
Nice.
And as you know, I used to be horrified of tall bikes.
Yes.
But after working with you and going all these events, you just learn the tricks. So cruisers, you're going to be good. The only thing that you're going to have a problem with is super wide seats, because a 29-inch inseam is going to turn into a 24-inch inseam, because your leg, like an M109R, I can't ride.
Right.
I can't get any of my feet down. Like, even if I flamingo, I have to fucking. And
that's a bike you don't really want to be flamingo gaining.
Yeah. So and I've ridden the Chieftain Dark Horse. I have a 31-inch inseam. Just to clarify that. But the Chieftain Dark Horse, the Pursuit that we had here, for the half a mile that I could ride it.
Right.
So you can pretty much fit on anything. And in the naked games, like M207 was cherry, because the front of that seat is so narrow and the back of it is so
Right.
smushy.
So, Jacob, hopefully that's some good info for you. Going back to Andy. Andy says, hashtag what's in the box. ODC_decor on IG. Y'all check them out. Collab with Smort just dropped on Goonies YouTube and IG. Goonie, put your IG in the live chat.
Yeah.
So people can find you. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of see where you're talking about. I do... I don't love digging into bikes. Like, I'm going to dig into the ZX6R because I know what I'm looking at.
Did you see what he put on there real quick?
No.
Next to the all-new Eliminator.
That's hilarious.
Also, great bike.
So, I don't really... I feel like I can't really comment on the Eliminator because, in general, I do understand what you're saying. I rode the Rebel 1100... and the power felt okay. Yeah. But if that's the 1100 and there's a Rebel 500 and a Rebel 300, that's why I was saying I really wish I had experience on the Rebel 500 because
I would love to.
I could come into this with a better conversation.
I'd love to get you on the Vulcan 650.
By the way, I look for Rebels. I'm fascinated with them. I'm fascinated with how popular they are. They don't stay at mountain long. Yeah. We have to and like so the stars have to align.
I would love to have you on a Vulcan 650. Just to see what I'm talking about.
Well, I already really like
that, and then I rode the KLX 300 SM, and the KLX 300, which is the knobby version with and all of those were great. Then I got on that the Vulcan 650 because I got those two, and I was like, oh, this is great. And got on that Vulcan 650, and I was like, oh, this is garbage.
Right. Interesting. In general, I'm a fan of Kawasaki's 650 engine. I think it's a phenomenal platform. So if the Vulcan is got that, and it would be really cool to ride that. I do, in general, feel like the Eliminator might be susceptible to being a little underpowered. 451 cc's. I don't know if that's enough, really. And when I say enough, I mean here in America.
So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's that type of thing though. Like there's tons of bikes that I've recommended. Gonzalo. Oh, Chase. Thank you, Chase, for gifting a membership. Gonzalo, congratulations. You are now a member.
Oh, no. Wait, this is a callback.
The Eliminator?
Yes, but it used to be a 900cc motorcycle in the early 80s.
900cc?
Yeah.
Wow, they cut it in half. Good God. We've got a lot of stuff. Chase coming. Oh my good God, guys! Jesus Christ!
Yes,
it's the sheep. So Chase Williams, thank you for gifting 3 months membership. Holy crap! We have missed you very much. Hopefully, you've been busy riding that CBR 1000. Jacob says, so I work at Kia, and I'm wondering if they'll ever make a bike like Kawasaki made cars. Honestly, side note, this is totally out of left field, but Heather and I were watching a show last night, and if she was in here, she could vouch. I forget what it's called. What is the new electric Kia? It's like a KRN or something like that. Whatever. It's their new like electric car. Looks dope. Very big fan of it. So it's an electric car, makes no noise. Yeah. We saw what was probably the best car ad that we have seen in years. They had he had like a racing suit on, like a car racing suit. So I'm assuming he's some sort of racer. He's mute though, and he has been his whole life. So he does the whole ad by sign language about the car that is also silent. It is, if you guys haven't seen it, look up whatever car that is. Somebody in the chat knows what car that is. That would be helpful. But look up that ad. It was literally the best car ad I've seen in a very long time.
Nice anyway. Aside. I want to just really quickly some information about this.
About the Eliminator.
About the Eliminator real quick. It's 380 pounds.
That's really light for a cruiser.
I mean,
that's extraordinarily light.
It's really light for a cruiser. It's heavy for the engine that it's based off of, which it's not a new engine.
The 451cc is not new?
The new Eliminator shares the parallel twin liquid-cooled engine with the Ninja 400.
Okay, then I take everything. That is going to have plenty of power. Then how much is the Ninja 400? How much does the Ninja 400 weigh? Find that out for me. Because if it's relatively close, then that bike is going to have plenty of power.
The geometry, it's going to be tuned differently, and the geometry is not going to allow you to push it so hard.
Assuming the tune is not grotesque, that bike will have no problem having enough power. But tell me how much the Ninja weighs.
I don't think you understand what's going to happen with that.
381 was the weight on the Eliminator.
Yeah, it's 360 curb weight for the.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so the Eliminator is now not out of my range. I feel like that bike. You're going
based purely on the specs of it. I'm going to tell you right now.
No, I'm going off the fact that I have ridden a Ninja 400, and I think a Ninja 400 is a phenomenal motorcycle. And if you are literally giving people the Ninja, this is all assuming that the tune does not just destroy the motorcycle, because it very much could. It's incredible what these manufacturers can do with a tune. But as long as they don't under-tune the hell out of this motorcycle, it will be a phenomenal beginner bike. I will stand behind that, because the Ninja 400 has plenty of power.
I'm trying to see if they have numbers for.
You search for numbers because our boy Jacob is not messing around. Jacob also says, Jacob, shout out to you, dude. You're killing it today. Jacob says, I'm going to build that EV car after July here in West Point. Y'all should do a tour of the manufacturing plant. Good twisties down here too. I'm sold on the twisties. Yeah, I love the hell out of that car. Seeing the manufacturing plant would be absolutely phenomenal. At first I was writing this bike off, but if it shares the same engine and it's just in a cruiser platform, you're essentially doing the thing where we get multiple styles of bikes with the same power plant. I think the Ninja 400 is right there with one of the best sport bikes.
But the Ninja 650 is a great middleweight, like middle of the road sport bike.
But now that makes sense though. If they have the Ninja 400 and the Ninja 650
and the Vulcan S does not share any of its characteristics, even though it shares the exact same platform. I'm
not writing the Eliminator off. I'll put it that way.
Absolutely. I'm putting a stamp on it. This thing is a bag of shit. It's a slow bag of shit.
Have you ridden a Ninja 400?
No, I have not ridden a Ninja 400.
I just want.
I've ridden a Ninja 650, and I've ridden the Vulcan S.
Okay.
And those two things could not feel more different.
I hear you. Okay, do you have anything else you want to hit on the Eliminator?
No, I was looking for power, but nobody has it yet that I can find off the rip, so...
Yeah, they... unless they're one of those companies...
But yeah, apparently the Eliminator was a bike in the 80s. From 85 to 2007, between a 125 and a 1000 cc twin, parallel twin, single, or inline, depending on where you got it in the range.
Interesting.
And then 2023 to present.
That's kind of cool. So I do dig the kind of like name throw.
The most popular of which was the 125 overseas.
Of course, yeah, no surprise there. Okay, that's the Eliminator. I would be fascinated to ride one of these. Hopefully, before I ride one of these, I can finally find a Rebel 500. That would be a really cool bike to ride. That, then find the Eliminator. Kawasaki's are a little harder for us to come by because the Mountain Motorsports dealership that we work with does not carry Kawasaki. So we would have to go to another dealership. It's a long story. It's whatever. But I would like to ride a lot more Kawasaki's in general. I do. My one last kind of thing to say about the Eliminator and just kind of Kawasaki in general is this whole option for no ABS. I mean, I appreciate, I guess, that you can get the bike cheaper. But guys, at this point in motorcycling, people expect ABS, and the problem is when you go from a bike with ABS to without ABS, then you have a really big problem.
So for Euro 5 compliant, they have to have ABS.
So maybe they only sell the ABS.
So why have both? Quickly, the Eliminator has 45 horsepower.
Okay.
And 26 foot-pounds of torque.
I mean, those numbers make sense for the beginner bike class.
For
a bike that weighs almost the same. with a different body position.
So it's not good. It's not the same. You're looking at those numbers. I'm telling you right now, my Bolt, which you rode, and you know how it feels.
How much did the Bolt weigh, though?
A Bolt weighed like 415.
That's like 80 pounds.
And had twice the torque.
Tunes can change everything, though. Truly.
I'm telling you right now, that...
A Ninja 400, I understand what you're saying. It's totally different, but like...
To put this into perspective, the 125 had 11.8. It has twice... wait, 11.8... 7.3 foot-pounds of torque at 8,000 RPM. That's a 125. Mm-hmm. All right, so 26. You're looking at 3 times the horsepower. No, 3 times the torque for an engine that's 4 times the size of it. Basically, it's going to be so underpowered. That is nothing in the world of like a raked out heavy. It's going to feel heavy too.
I can only judge it on the
Lord.
numbers that I'm hearing and my experience. So that's where I'm coming in.
Lala, what is A2 license entail for EU? Is that like, because I know there's levels, right?
Yes.
So where on that is the A2 sitting? Is that like beginner, or is it like...
We should do an entire episode on like foreign licensing, because I would love to know more like that. So let's
just, in my experience on cruisers, that's gonna feel like a fucking slog.
I'm interested to check it out.
It's gonna make a lot of noise.
You think so?
Oh yeah, it's gonna make a lot of noise because it's a parallel, and it's gonna be like wah, and then you're gonna be looking at your speedo going like, well, nope.
Anything else you want to touch on with the Eliminator?
That was it. Also, Kawasaki, do better. Come on, man.
Jesus.
Which they did, because the KLX 300 and the Ninja 6 ZX6R.
We love to see it. Okay, so moving on from the Eliminator, we are going to talk about Kawasaki's Ninja ZX6R, which is their super sport. Now, if you guys are not kind of like up to date with what manufacturers are doing with super sports, I felt like there was a general kind of understanding when it came to the manufacturers that super sports are kind of a dying breed. Most people find them extremely uncomfortable. They are fantastic motorcycles for a very specific user case. Mm-hmm. And I think the market is starting to understand that the user case that those bikes are great for are track days or really serious riding, like on the weekends type thing. And
which
people
is
are
telling that they did the whole video on a track.
Yeah, so they did the whole video on the track, but the thing is that they're still making this bike. So if you guys aren't familiar with Yamaha's line, Yamaha has
not just still making it, but updating it. That's
the point.
Yeah.
So Yamaha still makes their R6, which is their super sport. Jacob coming back. Holy shit. There's a Rebel 500 at Mountain Motorsports in Conyers. Just imagine if they made ADV Groms or ADV Z125s. Idea for WBRG. Chase is coming to SmartCon 2023. Damn it, Jacob. So Yamaha has taken their R6, which is one of their best-selling motorcycles,
and just shit
and they have made it. Now you can still buy it, but you literally can only buy the track only.
Yeah.
And it ain't a situation where you can buy the track only and then put headlights on it. It is not allowed to be registered for road use if you buy one of the brand new ones. Obviously, you can buy an old one, blah, blah, blah. So what they've done is they have swap seed the R6. You can still get the look of the R6 generally with their R7. You're not leaned over as much. You're a little more upright. You've still got clip-ons. It's still that super sport body position, but it's a parallel twin. It's the CP2. It's the same engine that's in the MT-07, the Tenere 700. So that bike, while it is still very aggressive, it's far more usable as far as its power delivery for the type of riding that the majority of you guys do all the time. And it still has enough power to have a really fun time on a track. I've gone to a track with an R7. I had a phenomenal time. Yep. So that's kind of where I feel like the manufacturers were going. It was like, okay, we don't need these high revving inline fours anymore. Yeah. Kawasaki was just like, oh no, we definitely do, and here's our new thing. So I'm really interested that they believe in this bike enough to continue it, not only continue it, but update it. Now,
updating it was the one that I was like, that's like
Right.
a whole, like the visual has changed.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the visual in a second. Now, again, kind of similar to the Eliminator, I don't really know where Kawasaki is at with this ABS versus non-ABS model, especially on a motorcycle like that, because here's what's going to happen. Guys are going to start riding. They're going to want a super sport. If they've got enough money and they like the way this bike looks, they're going to buy this bike. And if they get this bike and as their first bike, because their friends are going to be like, dude, you should start at a Ninja 650 and be like, oh, fuck that, dude. I like that Ninja ZX6R. Not realizing that those bikes could not be more different. Even though the numbers are like 10 or 15 off, they're going to get this bike because they like the way it looks. And if they get the non-ABS...
It's got a 6 in it.
Yeah, it's got a 6. It starts with the same number. They've got to be the same. I only say this because that's how dumb I was when I started. And I know if I was that dumb, there are multiple people that are that stupid. So... they're going to get this motorcycle and they're going to get the non-ABS model because like that might be the only thing available at the dealership. They're going to have no fucking idea what they're doing. And if they take that bike to 12,000 RPMs and they don't know what they're doing and they don't have ABS, it's not going to be a good time.
Yeah.
And like
it's a rocket ship to a hospital.
I want people to get whatever bike they want, but like what I really care about is like growing the motorcycle industry. And if a dude or a girl gets this motorcycle and they get the shit scared out of them and then they low side it because they lock up the front and they don't have ABS, which that bike would be easy to do that on.
100%.
I don't,
of videos up in the mountains.
Yeah,
people doing it
all the time. I'm like, Kawasaki, I totally get it's so cool that you guys can offer this motorcycle for $11,300 or $11,299. I think that's a great price for this motorcycle. We'll dig into the numbers here in a second. The bike would still be a good priced bike at $12,299. It just comes with ABS.
Yeah.
I want people to start riding and then continue riding. It does this industry no good to have people start on these cool looking bikes, wreck and fuck their shit up, and then they never ride again.
I honestly do not think there's any reason to have a non-ABS motorcycle anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
we're past that time.
And here's the thing: put ABS on it, but have it turn offable, like the Ibex. The Ibex is not like that. You can't turn it off, but like if you're gonna have ABS, put ABS on everything and allow a cutoff.
That's different because you can turn it off, but it's rear wheel, and that is because it's designed to be an off-road. The T7
you cannot turn the ABS off on the Ibex.
The off-road does it not have off-road mode?
No.
It doesn't have an off-road mode?
I have a switch coming in that allows you to disengage ABS on the rear.
Okay, so like the T7, switch on the dash, turns off the ABS on the rear.
But that's what I'm saying. Every bike should have ABS.
But that's for a specific use case. I'm of the mind that every street bike should have the ABS. Full stop.
I'm
not even switchable.
I'm saying if there was one dude that's really high up at Kawasaki, be like, no, we're never offering a non-ABS motorcycle. Cool, John. Why don't you just put a fucking switch on the motorcycle and then everybody can turn it off? Like that's where it needs to be. Most
of these super sports have different ABS settings and stuff like that. Fine, but for a bike to not come with ABS at all is fucking stupid.
Here's the absolute silliness. So let's just say, right, you want to save some cash. You get the ZX6R for $11,299 with no ABS. That motorcycle has traction control. So you're telling me at a lower price, I have a motorcycle that has traction control, a TFT display, all LED lighting, and doesn't have ABS.
And
that is silly.
Last year's turn signals.
It is very silly. I really wish they would not do that. Like, if you know what you're doing, ABS is cool. If you don't know what you're doing, ABS is crucial. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those situations, and you're looking at a bike that has a high, like, you can't just get on this bike and ride.
No.
That bike is going to be very minimal power up until a high RPM, and then it is going to become a rocket ship. Yeah. And that kind of duality of riding is hard to understand, especially when you're new.
The power band?
If you're new, yeah. So
because the power band on an inline is
everything's up here and little.
And
here.
when you get to that point,
it is like is on off.
Yeah.
It is not like, oh, it's starting to give me more power. No, it doesn't go anywhere. And it's like, wow, my bike is slow. And then as an idiot, I'm speaking from experience, you're just holding the revs in and the bike's not going anywhere, and you will almost be shot off the bike when it hits its power band.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
That's the way
insane.
I felt on the S1000.
100%.
Yeah, because when you were
the S1000 is not as bad because the S1 the leader
I don't know
bike
what the new one is
generally. So for you guys that don't know, leader bikes have more mid range, so you get that fun power more. And then when you get there, it's still a rocket ship, but it's not like this and then boom. It's more like boom. You know what I mean? So at least you're accelerating.
I felt like such a like moment on those. I can't imagine a world like we don't need it anymore. We don't need a world where motorcycles don't have all this stuff on it. We've gotten through the archaic dark ages of motorcycling,
right?
Where we're just all analog, dummies. Just it's whatever. You can say what you want about like, oh, we don't know how to ride with all these rider aids. I know professional riders. We hear it every single time we go to the track. That sound on after turn 10. That
we also have access and have conversations with people that know how to ride.
That's
who
the
also
sound of rider aids doing their job, allowing those riders at top level professional riders to do their job more efficiently. We should just fucking have this shit. And if you're gonna include traction control, it shouldn't be an option. That's the only.
Will you pull me some photos of the ZX10, please?
That's the only weird thing. Everything else about this, I love. I love the new style.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too off topic because that went way deeper than it probably should have about ABS and stuff like that. But I wanted to be clear. I think it's cool as shit that we have this bike. Yeah. I love the fact that Kawasaki's doing this. One thing that me and you, I feel like, end up talking about a lot when it comes to motorcycles, especially on the design side, is having a design language for a style of motorcycle. Yeah. What I mean by that is we always talk about Yamaha. That's just our kind of go-to.
Looking at a Yamaha, it's fucking
If you look at a Yamaha in the sport range, it does not matter what CC you're looking at. You could look at the R3, you can look at the R7, you can look at the R6, you can look at the R1. They are all Rs, and they all look similar.
Cohesive design language.
Kawasaki wasn't necessarily bad at this, but I think this motorcycle
reminds me
looks so much more like
the old
ZX10.
636. Remember the old 636 that had that little guitar pick intake? I love this look.
I think Kawasaki's always done really good with the looks of their super sports. I personally, it's personal preference. You guys might feel different, but I want you guys to look at this new ZX6 R. So this is the new boy, right?
Yeah.
Now look at the ZX10. Yeah. Very similar, like eyes are kind of like up in the front, kind of tucked in. They've got this fairing that comes up on top.
So the Ninjas for a while all had this, because remember the old Ninja 300s when the new version of that came out? They had that same kind of vibe with the ZX10.
Right.
But before that, all the Ninjas had more rounded body lines.
Yeah.
And like the old 636 that people would stunt out, the front of this, especially that front shot, show them the third picture of the second.
That boy?
That one. That looks like a new version of that old school 636.
This version,
I love
this angle looks real. Like you guys can see, like look at the sunken eyes.
Yeah.
And look at the sunken eyes here. Very similar look. I honestly think this bike looks great.
Yeah, I like the more rounded stuff on this compared to the ZX10.
Yeah.
Like all the body lines are much smoother and kind of a callback to those older Ninjas and
stuff. Since we're kind of talking about this bike, one of the things that the Ninjas and the Gixxers kind of share, I kind of look at super sports as you got two flavors. You got the Ninjas and the Gixxers, which have a lower seat, which makes you feel like you're sitting more in the motorcycle, which is more comfortable. And then you have the R6s and the Hondas where you are very on, like you feel like the bike is a plank and you're just on top of it.
Yeah.
Pros and cons, Hondas and Yamahas, when you're up top on that bike and your weight's really high, when you lean your bike over, your weight kind of helps you just like lean the bike over aggressively and just like shoot through a turn. So that's really cool. I've always like...
You prefer the on top.
I prefer the on top for the type of riding I'm doing, but if you're going to make the idiotic decision to get a 600cc inline 4 super sport and you're going to ride in the city, which the most of the people are going to do, at least if you're on a Gixxer or a ZX6, at least you are more down in the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And something that will help a little bit with that power delivery that we were talking about is it's only a little bit, in my personal opinion, but the Gixxers and the ZX6s have a little more power in the middle and less top up.
Yeah.
So like the Hondas and the Yamahas, like, bruh, literally everything is at 80%, and you got to fight all the way, or top 20, and you got to fight up to there. These, you have a little more power down low. The same general conversation is still going to happen.
Yeah.
But you guys can even see how the gas tank kind of swoops up here.
Yeah.
It looks like you're sitting low in the motorcycle. And these bikes have always been good for that. So I have no doubt that this bike is going to continue that.
Yeah.
It's just got a, I really love this front area.
Like I said, I prefer this front area of this Ninja to the really angular shit that the Ninjas have been doing for a while.
Yep.
I don't like that super angular kind of look on Ninjas. Like, because when I first started riding, everybody had the old Ninja 250, the Ninjas, the 636s, things like that, and that body style is kind of represented, though in a new way, even though they did use the same turn signals, with this new ZX6R. I'm a fan. I like the way it looks.
I'm gonna go through the gallery. They have some gallery photos here.
God, that
the KRT.
Yeah.
I know it's like a joke with the Kawasaki's, but like the KRT it looks
good.
Kawasaki.
Yeah.
And I don't say that in a bad way. I mean that like good. Authentic. Like it's solid.
That looks real good. It actually makes the body lines look more in line with the more angular stuff, but you still have like the flowing edges, and
I love when
cool.
like these graphics going across like this. Fantastic. This is going to be probably, if you're gonna make this decision to get this style motorcycle, and you will have aspirations to do a track day, this thing is going to be so good because of that seat height and it being slightly less aggressive. And they are 100% in a Windows screensaver, 100%.
This is
I love the LED lighting. The LED lighting looks fantastic. This is I think they're doing a good move. If you're gonna keep inline 4 super sports, this is the way to do it. In my opinion. I'm really excited. I hope I get the opportunity to ride one of these. It'd be very interesting to kind of judge that, because you guys know we're building the R6 over on WBR Garage. Shout out if you want to win a motorcycle, $5, link in the description. But yeah, like I early on in my riding career, I spent half a decade on super sports. I have since moved on. Don't currently own one. Would love to have a track bike, but just can't afford the time.
A big boy track bike, or would you do like the middle displacement?
If I'm putting myself in a world where I have the time and the available resources to have a track bike that I go do a track day once or twice a month. Realistically, like after spending some doing that track day with the RS660 with the Aprilia and the Tuono, I honestly feel like for me, with the amount of time, like I'm never become a track like a racer, right? So I'm never gonna get that hard. I feel like that's a terrible thing to say. Now that's an audio clip. I'm so sorry, Chase. Future you. Honestly, I would go with the 600. I would go with knowing me, I'd probably have an R6, R6 or an R7 if I needed to save some cash. Those would be really good. The RS660 is really great, but like I would just worry having an Aprilia for a track bike, because like if something went wrong,
that's true.
Like I feel like that'd be really expensive. But I don't think that you need anything more than that. These 1000cc bikes are
dumb.
I rode oh my god, it's not going to come out tomorrow. Tomorrow's first ride is a 890 KTM Adventure. So that's tomorrow's first ride, but the week after, we're going to be releasing a BMW S1000 RR M package. That is silly. It is absolutely insanely silly. I will tell you what I would want on a track bike though, and I've realized this through only a couple bikes that I've ridden: winglets. I know it's ridiculous. I know they look a little silly to some people. But, dude, when you're on the highway, you can have a lightweight, agile motorcycle, and the second that you get at speed, you feel like you are being pressed by Jesus to the ground. And suddenly,
good thing too with that,
bro. So like I've never done a track day with a bike with winglets. I've only done like highway riding.
Yeah.
But it is such an insane
actual
feeling.
functional aero does make a huge difference.
It makes so much more of a especially if you're doing like road Atlanta on a bike on a 600 with winglets, I would lose my shit, all of it.
So hey, we managed to get through that with 15 minutes left. So do you want to
Oh, so no, we still got to talk about stuff. Okay, so
Well, I was gonna say, do you want to talk about this 300 dual sport?
yeah, so let me hit on a couple more things.
Okay.
Integrated ride modes, awesome.
Yes.
Love that. This bike needs that, especially like a rain mode that could activate ABS. Oh, I don't know. So we love ride modes. TFT instrument panel. We've seen Kawasaki TFTs in the past. It looks similar to that design language. That's awesome. Phone connectivity.
They have their own app. Stop doing your own app.
A PSA to motorcycle people. I have phone connectivity now on my Ibex. I don't.
Which is the only reason yours is really useful is because of over-the-air updates.
Oh shit, that's true. I take everything I was about to say.
But like these companies are doing their own map stuff and all this, and like but
so have
this
your
one
own
might,
app.
This might have lap timer shit and stuff like telemetry. But
okay. Generally, we're
does.
against phone.
Yeah.
Generally, we're against phone connectivity unless you can do something really neat. The Ibex does do really cool stuff. Yeah. But I don't like answering my phone on the bike. I don't
unless you're using existing systems.
Right, exactly. And Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I think just put those in, and I'm good. I don't need the Kawasaki-ness of it, or I don't need the CF Moto-ness of whatever the brand is. Yeah. Jacob spending all his cash here says, would you ever do a adventure series again, Yummy R6 and Chase style with Bow or Ghost?
Funny that you mentioned that.
It's funny you mentioned that, Jacob.
Because in 1 month we're going to be in South Dakota.
That is the way we look at. So we have our Adventure Bro series, which is just essentially we look at it as the grown-up version of the Adventure series that me and Yummy did. Now we're more upgrown, mature. Well, you're not Yummy, but it's dudes on adventure bikes doing legal, fun adventures, not two idiots on supermotos doing literally whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So we kind of look at the Adventure Bros series like that. So yeah, would I ever consider it?
Absolutely.
I would. Yes. Adventure bikes are the
Cheat
literal key. We call them cheat codes all the time for a reason. If you haven't ridden an ADV bike, you don't understand yet. You will eventually.
We have a trip planned here shortly.
We do have
to South Dakota for Revzilla's Get On ADV Fest.
I am frantically putting my CF Moto together, my Ibex 800T.
I've got to pull out all of the stuff that I'm going to need, like camping and all that shit, and then pack it all back up and try to make some sense of it. But we're all getting ready because we got like a month.
We got a month, and we're going to be delivering the CBR 300 finally to the winner.
Yep.
That's taken way too long, but
yeah.
I mean, you're winning a motorcycle.
Well, speaking of off-road stuff.
Oh, speaking of off-road stuff, that was not terrible. Okay, so this is another bike that Kawasaki released, quote unquote released. Ghost said, since everyone's shitting on the Eliminator, let's talk about the new KLX 300 Dual Sport.
Yes.
Let's show you guys what the Dual Sport looks like. Now, you might be wondering yourself, guys, you're talking shit about a 451cc, and this is 300.
It's a different beast.
Guys, I had a Supermoto for a very long time. I have since sold it, but let me tell you, the 250, it was a 250 WR250 X road version. This platform, very lightweight with the dual sport wheels, is a hell of a fun time. Oh my God, Jacob, Jesus Christ, guy. Also, thank you for helping me with my recovery last year when I got into my wreck. Y'all helped keep me motivated. Broke my femur back in 2022. Damn, dude. Well, I am very happy that you got through that.
Yep.
I'm glad to have helped out. That does not sound like a fun time.
It's not a fun break.
I'm glad you find our idiocy enjoyable.
I've ridden this bike.
So you've ridden this exact same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
It took them a while to get the dual sport version over here.
So let's read through the additional features real quick. Dual sport tuning, long travel suspension, absolutely necessary.
Yep.
All digital multifunction instrumentation, sweet. Lightweight perimeter frame,
Yep.
kind of standard for this style model. Full size 21-inch front and an 18-inch rear tire,
Yes,
which
sir.
is awesome. Powerful pedal disc brakes. What are pedal disc brakes?
I assume it's just disc brakes.
Just regular disc brakes. It's just weird. All right, heat management for rider comfort, which I never found the 250s and the 300s get very hot, but I mean it's cool, and comfortable ergonomics, which absolutely it does.
292 fuel injected, liquid cooled, 4-stroke with electric start. The SM, great. It's not gonna compared to others in the class, it's a little slow, but at that displacement, it's just about fun and rapping on the throttle.
Right, and that's one of these things that this thing is great at. You
Yeah.
can literally, if you want a motorcycle that you want to just get on and full throttle and not give a fuck,
Yeah,
that's the type
that's
of
what these
bike.
bikes are.
They are not bricks, but like they're tanks.
So these size bikes are the ones that a lot of people are doing BDRs on. Is the 300 and 400 cc.
Interesting.
Yeah,
How long's a BDR?
I mean, it can be a day, it can be a couple hours, or it can be like 9 days. But because they're so light,
Yeah.
and like you can get them into all sorts of trouble, and it's not a big deal. You just you throw like a giant loop strap on the front of it, and you can just pull it out of a fucking river.
Trust me,
You know what I mean?
had to do that multiple
So
times.
a lot of
with
guys
WR.
are riding these things out on those ADV trails.
I could see a lot of the
They have
pros for that.
the rackless bags that they put on them,
Just kind of drape over
and then call it a fucking day.
I mean, there's a lot of pros with that. The
Yeah.
seats on these is the only thing to me that would really suck for that because. I mean, like when the way me and
They're
Yumi
not
would shoot our
comfy.
series is especially when he wasn't living here, he would drive in and then we would ride and record for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
And after the first day, your ass is hurting already.
That was
so
one of
that's
my
the only
biggest
like
complaints
kind of
about the
problem.
T7 and the Touareg is the seat. Touareg's not as bad as the T7, but T7 is a dirt bike seat.
Yeah.
It's fairly uncomfortable.
Oh my God, Jacob, what is happening?
I just got my ADH HD meds. Sorry. Dub the Ruckus the Frodo or Wandering.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God, I love it. Jacob, you are an
Frodo
absolute. You're the
Ruckus.
king of this episode.
I will say, compared to other bikes in that kind of market, is a little. It felt a little on the slow side, not as powerful, but it did give me kind of a tractor feel. You know, the reason I like the
Yeah.
Himalayan is just you're just gonna fucking throttle up and just get through whatever.
I mean, like, there's a reason that Suzuki still has their DR400.
their suspension apparently feels great, especially at this price point because it's only 6,200.
Bro,
bucks.
that's what any ZX6 like ever that I've ridden. Kawasaki does phenomenal suspension. I've always felt really planted and solid on, and that's from their Ninja 400 all the way up to their ZX10. They all feel like, you remember the ZX10 we built? Well, that was really before your like time here, but like, it had the like cartridges and everything.
Yeah.
The thing was solid.
No, the SM felt a little bit better as far as like the power,
Yeah.
but
SM being Supermoto, road wheels.
yeah,
Blah, blah, blah.
smaller road wheels.
Yep.
But the KLX is.
I would love to ride one of these. I'm sure it very much gives WR250 vibes.
Yeah.
Andy with the super chat. Coming soon, Yanto SP, Andy Uguni, and Ghost on Two Wheels, new series, Ghost Hunters. Oh yeah, are you guys really doing that?
It's like motorcycle hide and seek. Come find me.
That's
How are you-
horrifying.
When is this? Have you guys already shot an episode, or are you going to shoot an episode?
Well, really, it's just Andy's idea. But we might do it at SmortCon, and the winner could get a prize.
Okay.
I love
Right.
Ghost Hunters. That's kind of awesome.
This.
And while I have your attention, we are going
Okay.
to have prizes at SmortCon.
Oh.
We might give away a Cardo.
No way, Ghost. Let everybody know. Give the elevator pitch for SmortCon for the people that don't know.
Basically, just very smart folk hanging out for a weekend.
Yeah. Airbnb in it. Give them the dates, bud.
Late August. Hold on.
Late August. While you look that up, Bridget, I wish the Kawasaki would upgrade the Vaquero. I wish they would update the Vaquero, but only the internals.
What's the
and
Vaquero?
It's their bagger. I don't want them to touch the looks because even though it's a face
looking it
a
up while
mother
you're
could
talking.
love, I love the Vaquero.
You're the mother.
I'm the mother. I love the way it looks.
So what is it? A street class?
It's a cruiser. It's their like big boy bagger.
W?
No. Vaquero.
Vulcan?
Maybe.
Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. Oh.
It's a funky bitch, but I love her. I
I'll
love her,
show you
and I
guys.
don't want them to touch the way it looks, but I would love them to upgrade. Yes, it's almost got a
motherfucker, I
it's
love
almost
you.
got a Gucci style fairing. They're what is it? They're Continental or something like that. I can't remember the name of the Moto Guzzi that's their bagger, but it has that kind of vibe on the front end. I loves it. I hate it and I love it. You're so ugly. This is like when I look at my pug and I go, God damn it, your stupid ugly face. I love you.
I mean, look, I appreciate that everybody has preferences, and if this is your motorcycle, then God bless you.
Bro,
You know?
it's such a unique look. You don't see fairings like that. There's literally
reason.
one other bike that does it. It's
Sorry.
it's a Guzzi.
I'm not here for it, but hey, you know what? That's awesome. Shout out to all the Vulcan Vaqueros. When I was a kid, the Mexican restaurant in town was El Vaquero. Went there very
Ole!
often. Ole!
Bagger. I'm trying to remember what the Moto Guzzi bagger is called because I want you to look at that real quick and then tell me that's not the same.
The what bagger?
It's Flying Fortress. You want to talk about an ugly front?
Flying Fortress.
Yes, the Moto Guzzi. It's got that same kind of vibe, but the Guzzi's much uglier.
But it's got a
Oh.
great personality.
I don't even know about that. This thing?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I like it because it's unique, but like I like the Vaquero more.
I think I would ride this, but I would definitely not be. I would not be caught dead on the Vaquero.
Wow.
Sorry, just all right. Jacob again. My God, on this episode, live on Two Hills, took the hobbits to Isengard. That's actually awesome. Oh my God, what the hell is happening? Street Triple 765 or XSR 900 can only pick one.
Street triple.
Wait, hold on. Derek, 765 RS or the Street Triple 765? I have to have clarification.
Yeah.
I have to know that. Just drop a comment in the chat and I will tell you the answer.
My answer is still Street triple.
You would go with the regular Street Triple over the XSR 900?
I love that bike.
That's fair. RS. Oh, RS. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yep.
If it's the regular Street Triple 765 versus the XSR 900, swapsy daisy. XSR 900. Have you seen the new XSR 900 that has the little like head fairing
cow.
that they ship? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in another episode. Derek, hopefully that answers your question. Okay, anything left on the ZX6R? I think we touched on the majority of it. The Vaquero's a thing, or goes.
I'm gonna start that render and then I'm gonna make a doctor's appointment.
Oh, good God. All right, Bo's sick. We're leaving. Hopefully you guys had an enjoyable episode. Make sure to hit that like button. And we will be back next week for...
Something else.
Something else. I hope you guys have a phenomenal weekend. I don't have a wedding to do, and our pool is open, so I might finally get to hang out at my own fucking pool. You guys have a great weekend. Make sure to tune in tomorrow on Chase on Two Wheels for a first ride of a KTM 890 adventure. It's going to be sick. Thank all of you guys for being here live. Thank you, Jacob, for all the freaking super chats. Thank all you guys for super chats. We appreciate it. It helps run the show. Bo's going to go
Ruckus.
poop, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Support Ghosts Ruckus.